Charlie looked at her coldly, not too lazy to be familiar with her. He made her lose money and did it deliberately, in order to teach her a lesson. Otherwise, next time she will still decide how much trouble will be caused. It doesn't matter if she died on her own. She will hurt Claire. Orville was also very dissatisfied with Elaine's performance. He instinctively felt wronged for Charlie. What the FCK is this mother-in-law? He saved her life, is she still so sloppy? Thinking of this, he shouted sharply, I warn you, don't think that you are Mr. Wade's mother-in-law. You can be disrespectful to him. If it is too much, I will send you to the black coal kiln with them. Elaine was taken aback, her arrogance immediately went down a lot, and she said with an annoyance, What does our family matter have to do with you? After finishing speaking, he pointed to Charlie and said, Do you know that this guy is a big flicker? You are now being fooled around by him and serving him as a spearman. One day when you come back, you must be the first one to hack him to death. No matter how angry, Orville stretched out his hand and slapped her, and yelled, If you dare to provoke my relationship with Mr. Wade, I will kill you. Elaine really didn't dare to be arrogant now. She knew Orville's methods. If she really annoyed him, how could she manage it? So she could only take a few steps back, and honestly did not dare to speak anymore. At this time, Orville came to Charlie, knelt on one knee, and said with a sad expression, Mr. Wade, I am really wronged for you. After he finished speaking, he raised his voice a little, and blurted out, Why do you want to be the son-in-law of this kind of shrew? Even if you and Mrs. Wade have a deep relationship, there is no need to keep this kind of mother-in-law in the world. And she has disrespected you over and over again. I should have killed her long ago. When Charlie heard this, he shook his head slightly, and said lightly, Forget Mr. Orville, there are some things to learn to accept. Orville looked at Elaine bitterly, while the latter was frightened. At this time, Elaine didn't dare to raise the subject of money anymore, so she could only temporarily feel wronged and distressed in her heart. At this moment, several cars were parked in the courtyard of the villa, and Isaac personally walked in with 5 sturdy people who were tied up. Each of these 5 people were full of fear. As soon as she entered the door and saw Lien, the young man blurted out and asked her, Mom, what is going on? Lien saw that her husband, son-in-law, daughter, and daughter-in-law were all arrested, and the ghost cried and howled suddenly. I'm sorry for you, I'm sorry for you, blame me, you have to suffer with me. A man in his 50s hurriedly asked, Wife, what is going on? Charlie looked at him and said coldly, Do you know that your wife has been so harmful to others? I don't know, the man said dodgingly. Charlie had a full view of his reaction and sneered, Still talking to me? Your wife has been a croupier for decades. What kind of person she is? You don't know what it is? After all, he looked at the 5 people one by one, and then asked, Which of you are Lien's son and daughter? A young man and young woman raised their hands timidly. They still don't know what happened. Charlie looked at them and sneered, I heard that you are all high-achieving students from prestigious universities. Then do you know, where did your university money come from? The two looked at each other, neither dared to speak. Lien's husband probably realized that something was wrong. It must be his wife who had been caught by someone. So he hurriedly said, This gentleman, if my wife cheated while playing cards, then you can tell the truth. How much can I pay you? Lien cried and said, Husband, our small 20 million has been donated, and the 2 million I won today have also been donated. Donated it? Lien's husband asked in surprise. Who did you donate to? Charlie said coldly, Donated it to Project Hope. After all, he observed the family and sternly reprimanded, You vampires who specialize in cheating, don't know how many people have been scammed and how many families have been ruined for so many years. But, you yourself are doing very well. The children have all gone to prestigious universities and become successful people. Don't you have to pay this debt? Everyone in Lien's family was frightened. Charlie continued, Today, I will send all your family to the black coal kiln in the west of Shaanxi to dig coal for labor, and use your blood and sweat to redeem your sins for so many years. All the young people suddenly collapsed. A man shouted, I am not from their family, I am just their son-in-law. Charlie nodded, son-in-law. I heard that you are doing microloans? Tell me, how many young people have you cheated? Me. Charlie snorted coldly. From now on, I will listen to you one more nonsense. You don't have to go to the black coal kiln to dig for coal. I will dig a pit and bury you. 10 million years later, let you become coal. Another good-looking young woman cried and said, I'm just their daughter-in-law, and I haven't done anything to hurt anybody. Charlie asked back, I heard that your house runs a black casino? The woman suddenly turned pale and blurted, I haven't participated in casino operations, I just do financial work. Financial work? Charlie said indifferently, financial worker is also an accomplice. There is no need to be washed away. Honestly follow to atonement. Your family really is a bunch of SCM. Isaac said at this time, Mr. Wade, I know this woman. Her father's name is Jones Laassi. He runs a black casino nearby. Do you want me to take them all?